वो तभी आएंगे जब इफेक्ट टाइम होगा। शेयर स्क्रीन। Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Shazia Gul. Today is my first class with you on lab guide on high histology. आपको आवाज आ रही है सबको? Am I audible?
जी मैम, आपकी आवाज आ रही।
Right. Okay. You please, all of you unmute, and in the end, I will give you time for question after session. Then you can ask me questions. So, I will conduct your histology practical classes. My first lecture is today on lab guide on eye histology. So, in this class, we will grossly cover the general structure of the eyeball, structure of the cornea, histological structure of cornea and eyelid. But main emphasis would be on the how to identify the slides, what are the identification points of cornea and eyelid, and how to draw. So, in the beginning, I will give you a little bit introduction. Then you will see images, and in last slide you will see a short video for how to draw the slide of cornea. And in the last, you can ask questions in the last 10 minutes. So let's start. waiting for the students so that eye is the photoreceptor system. It is a complex and highly developed photosensitive organ, analyze form, intensity, and color of light. It provides sense of light, and both eyeballs are located in the bony orbit. So eyeball is basically a tough fibrous globe, and it is composed of a system of transparent tissues. So these transparent tissues are basically responsible for the reflection of light, that is the basic function of light, that is eyeball, that is the vision. It contains a layer of photosensitive cells and a system of neurons. So this is internal anatomy of the eye. You can appreciate the basic structure of the eyeball. As I told you that there is outer tough fibrous layer. This outer tough fibrous layer is mainly made up of two parts. So posterior 5/6 part is made up of sclera, and anterior 1/6 part is made up of cornea. Now the second layer is uveal tract or the vascular layer. Until you can appreciate that this is iris, then ciliary body, and the third posterior part is choroid. So this is vascular layer. Now innermost is the neural layer, this one. So this is retina, and retina is made up of neuronal cells that are basically responsible for the projecting your image to the brain. In addition to these three layers, you are able to see the other structures. For example, this one, this is the lens, and in front of lens, you can see this space. This is space in front of iris is anterior chamber, and behind the iris is the posterior chamber, and this is filled with aqueous humor. So the aqueous humor is a part of refraction media. So as I told you that eye is made up of refraction media. So first refraction media, the most important is cornea. Next is the aqueous humor. Then light passes through pupil. Then lens reflects the light, and after lens, this light passes through this vitreous chamber and reaches the neural layer and retina, and finally to the optic nerve to the brain. So this is the basic structure of cross structure of the eyeball. So eye is composed of three concentric tunics or the layers, as you can see here. A tough fibrous external layer. This is this one, fibrous tunic made up of sclera posteriorly and cornea anteriorly. A more vascular middle layer, that is this vascular tunic, iris, ciliary body, and choroid. An inner sensory layer, this one retina, that is made up of neural and pigmented neural layer or neural cells and pigmented layer. So this retina, as you know, histologically in next session we will study the histological structure of the retina. So the basic structure is made up of neural layers and pigmented layer. So there are other fluid-filled cavities. So this is vitreous humor, and in front there is aqueous humor. So this is the overall structure of the eyeball. Now, in this section, please unmute. You can ask questions in the end. So in this section, first of all, we will study the structure of eyelid. So histological features of eyelid are that basically it is composed of two layers, the internal layer and the external layer. So A, B, C, these are the different tissues of the body that are present in these two layers. So these are the three tissues: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, and muscular layer. So these tissues are incorporated in these two layers in a specific arranged form. So now we will study how they are arranged. So the first one, the external layer, that is visible when you close the eye, the layer that is the most superficial layer, that is the external layer of eyelid. So as you know that this layer is composed of skin. You can easily appreciate when you close your eye that this layer is made up of skin. And so which type of skin? This skin is thin skin. You know that there are two types of skin, thin skin and thick skin. So here there is thin skin, and as you know that skin is made up of two layers, epidermis and dermis here. So what is epidermis here? So epidermis here is the type of epidermis that covers the surfaces of the body. So which is that? It is stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. Next layer is dermis. Dermis is made up of hair follicles, sebaceous and sweat glands. So these are basically appendages of the skin that are present in the dermis. So there is a special characteristic of dermis here in the eyelid, that is, it is devoid of fat cells, and below the epidermis in the dermis there is loose connective tissue rich in elastic fibers but devoid of fat cells. That's why it appears very thin and elastic when you stretch your eyelid. So next is the internal layer consists of, now what is this internal layer? When you everts your eyelid, you can see from inside this is the internal layer. It is made up of palpebral conjunctival lining. So as you know that conjunctiva is two types, the part of conjunctiva that covers your front white portion of the eye, that is bulbar conjunctiva, and the part that internally lines the eyelid, that is palpebral conjunctiva. You can easily see it by everting your eyelid grossly. So this palpebral conjunctival lining is internally lined by thin lamina propria, and furthermost deeper part is dense connective tissue. So this dense connective tissue is given the name of tarsal plate. So shortly I will show the slide of the eyelid and you can well appreciate all these structures. So tarsal plate is basically dense connective tissue that contains various glands, that they are tarsal glands. We will see now next slide. So as I told you that in the eyelid we have three type of tissues: epithelial tissue, connective tissue that we have already discussed, but the muscle layer, now we are coming to the muscle layer. So basically this muscle layer is interposed between these two layers, and palpebral, it is made up of two types of muscles. One is skeletal muscle and other smooth muscle. Now skeletal muscle, as you know that eyeball is externally covered by skeletal muscle that is given the name of orbicularis oculi. So it has a palpebral part that lies in the upper and lower eyelid both. Now there is another type of skeletal muscle that lies here, that is its upper eyelid contains also the insertion of levator palpebrae superioris. So what is the function of these skeletal muscle here? That orbicularis oculi helps in closure of eye, and levator palpebrae superioris, that is a skeletal muscle, it helps in the opening of the eye. So next, what is a smooth muscle? Smooth muscle in the upper eyelid is the superior tarsal muscle that is present only in the upper eyelid. Similarly, levator palpebrae superioris is also present only in the upper eyelid. So, muscular layer is made up of skeletal as well as smooth muscles. So, this is again a repetition. So, fibrous coat of eye. You can show the outermost fibrous tunic. This is outermost fibrous tunic, sclera and cornea. Both are fibrous. Sclera is transparent because of special arrangement of collagen fibers, and cornea, and sclera is not transparent. So here I want to mention that at the corneoscleral junction here there is special area that is called, given the name of limbus. So it has very important function at the level of limbus where I put the arrow. There is a system of trabecular meshwork. This trabecular meshwork is responsible for drainage of aqueous humor from anterior chamber of eye into the scleral venous sinus, that is called the canal of scalp. So this is very important place because it is responsible for the drainage of aqueous humor and maintaining the optical pressure. Now coming to the cornea. So basically today your purpose of this lecture is to identify the corneal slide and how to draw the cornea. So first I am going to tell you the basic histological features of cornea. So cornea, as I showed you in the previous slide, the anterior 1/6 of the eye is colorless, transparent and completely avascular. So as you know that cornea is completely avascular, and this avascular nature gives it a transparent appearance, and this transparency of cornea is important for the reflection of light. So important histological features are cornea is made up of 5 layers. An external is external epithelium. Then second one is Bowman's membrane, stroma, Descemet's membrane, and innermost is inner endothelium. So you can see that external-most layer of the cornea is epithelium, and innermost is again epithelium, given the name of endothelium, and in between the basic structure is stroma and 2 membranes. So now we will study in detail an external stratified squamous non-catenized epithelium. So what is the external epithelium? Nature of the external epithelium? It is a stratified squamous non-catenized. Eyelid epithelium was catenized epithelium because it was skin, but cornea because it has to do, its main function is refraction of light. So here there is non-catenized epithelium and stratified squamous epithelium. So what are the characteristic features of this stratified squamous epithelium? It is made up of 5 or 6 cell layers. 10% of the corneal thickness is made up of this epithelium, and remaining 90% is mainly made up of stroma. So numerous mitotic figures are seen. So what are these mitotic figures? So basically the epithelium of this cornea, according to its function, because this area is exposed to the external environment, dust, particles, various bacteria. So nature has provided us with the stratified squamous epithelium, and this epithelium is adapted according to its function. So what is the function? That now this epithelium has the property to regenerate or proliferate. So basal layer of cells regenerate and superficial layer of cell disseminate, and this is responsible for continual renewal of this epithelium. That's why if this epithelium is damaged, so our body can actually replace it with the help of proliferation of basal layer of cells, and these basal layer of cells are provided by the stem cells that are present in the canal of scalp at the level of limbus. So these are the protective adaptations, and there is absorption of tears at that level. So there is this epithelium especially adapted to the absorption of tears. As we know that there is a special structure, that there are special structures that form tears. So there is constantly a thin layer of tear film in front of cornea that is required for the proper functioning of eye and reflection of light. So, but we don't need excessive tears. So these tears are absorbed constantly by microvilli present at the apical surface of the more superficial layer, and it is richly supplied by the sensory nerve. That's why cornea is extremely pain sensitive. So next is anterior limiting membrane, that is given the name of Bowman's membrane. It is actually, what is this membrane? This is actually the basement membrane of the superficial stratified squamous epithelium. So according to this location, it is very thick, 8 to 10 micrometer. It contributes to stability and strength of cornea, and it protects against various infections because this area is exposed to the external environment. Next comes the stroma or substantia propria. It makes 90% of the cornea, and it is made up of approximately 60 layers of parallelly running collagen bundles. So these collagen fibers are arranged orthogonally. So what is orthogonal arrangement? Orthogonal arrangement is basically that fibers of the collagen type 1 are present in substantia propria. These fibers in adjacent layers, as I told you that there are 60 layers. So these fibers in adjacent layers, they are not parallel, but they are at right angle to each other. And at intersection point on light microscopy, we see parallel fibers, but actually they are at right angle to each other. So this orthogonal arrangement is very important for the transparency of the cornea. So this arrangement gives cornea a transparent appearance. So next comes to what are the other components of substantia propria? Keratocytes. So keratocytes are basically fibroblast-like cells that produce collagen hair. They are never given the name of keratocytes here in cornea, and there is brown substance made up of lumicin that maintains the size, organization, and spacing of collagen fibrils here. And there are other components such as keratin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate. So basically, what is substantia propria? That there are collagen fibers type 1 having orthogonal arrangement. In between the collagen fibers, there are different cells that are keratocytes, and all these structures are embedded in the ground substance made up of lumicin, keratin sulfate, and chondroitin sulfate. So fourth layer is the posterior limiting membrane, Descemet's membrane. What is this? This membrane is again a basement membrane of innermost fifth layer endothelium, and it is almost 10 micrometer thick in adults and made up of interwoven fine collagen fibrils. So in young children it is thin, but with advancing age it increases in thickness. So innermost is the simple squamous epithelium. So when we see ultrastructurally, it is composed of Golgi apparatus, rich endoplasmic, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and mitochondria, because it synthesizes the protein and it is responsible for the sodium pump into the pumping into anterior chamber. So basically, the main function of this simple squamous epithelium is to maintain the transparency of stroma and to maintain a constant water level of the stroma. And this constant fixed water level of stroma is important for the optical reflection of light. So applied points are here. The important is that, as I told you, that epithelium is can regenerate from the basal layer cells, and from where these basal cells are coming, they are coming from the stem cells present in the canal of scleroepithelium. So for most superficial layer, if it is damaged, it can regenerate. So if there is damage to the Bowman's membrane or the Descemet's membrane or the endothelium, they cannot regenerate, and they repair by scar tissue, and so it gives opacity to the corneal. Corneal translucency is affected, and in this way, reflection of light is affected. So comes the image of cornea. As you see, the most superficial is this one is epithelium. This is the basement membrane, that is the Bowman's membrane. Then comes the 5 to 6 layers of cell. You can appreciate that there is a single layer of basal cells, then few layer of polygonal cells, and the most superficial layer has flattened nuclei. They are squamous in nature. So this is stratified squamous non-chitinized epithelium lying on the Bowman's membrane. So it forms almost 10% of the cornea, and the remaining 90% is made up of substantia propria. This whole is substantia propria. So here you can see these nuclei. These are the nuclei of keratocytes scattered between the collagen fibers. This pink area is collagen fibers that are embedded in the ground substance. So it forms a 90% in the and innermost this part. This pink line is Descemet's membrane. Actually, what is Descemet's membrane? Is the basement membrane of the endothelium, and this is squamous cells or the having flattened nuclei, that is the innermost corneal endothelium. So this is the first layer, epithelium, then Bowman's membrane, second layer, then stroma, third layer, this Descemet's membrane, fourth layer, and these flattened squamous cells are the fifth layer, endothelium. So here on one side I have written the special identification points of the cornea. So these ID points are what? They are stratified squamous epithelium, there's Bowman's membrane, substantia propria, Descemet's membrane, and there's corneal endothelium. There's special arrangement that between outermost there is epithelium, stratified squamous non-chitinized, and innermost there is epithelium, and in between there is stroma. So you can easily recognize this slide. So this is the microscopic image of cornea. That was the previous image that I showed you, that was taken from your book. That is the just to explain you the basic structure. Now this image that now I'm going to show, that is the microscopic image that you will exactly see in your microscopic, that is taken from the slide in your lab. So here you can see that this is the epithelium. This area is 90% stroma, and then the endothelium. So this is the corneal slide you will see in the lab. It is not horizontally, it is cut in this way that you can, this is the most superficial part, that is first layer, then second, this third, and this is a stroma, this is endothelium. Okay. So this is the microscopic image of the cornea. Next comes the slide of eyelid. Actually, cornea in exam, generally cornea slide you have to identify, you have to write down the identification points, and you have to draw. But eyelid generally it comes just for identification. So you just know the identify the slide and you should know the identification points. So eyelid. So I will just briefly tell you about eyelid. That eyelid is basically a shutter that covers your eyeball, and it is basically protective in nature. So how to identify? So here you can see, starting from here outside, this is the outer part. You can say superficial part. As for this is the key skin. So what is the skin here? Covering the eyelid, that is thin skin made up of epidermis and dermis. And what is the characteristic feature of thin skin? That it contains various appendages. So this F is for hair follicles. These are present. So this is a special characteristic feature of the eyelid, that it these are the identification points. Thin skin with hair follicles. So this is hair follicle, and this is thin skin having other appendages of skin. So second identification, in between, what is this? This is muscle, skeletal muscle and few strips of smooth muscle. Or innermost side, this one, this area, this is tarsal plate. Tarsal, what is tarsal plate? Tarsal plate is, that is a tough or compact dense connective tissue, and this stands for, these round structures are the tarsal glands. So what are tarsal glands? Tarsal glands are basically sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands that drain into ducts. This is the duct of sebaceous gland, and basically they produce sebum, the oily secretion that covers the tear film and prevent its excessive evaporation. So the main identification, in between there is muscle, that is skeletal muscle and few strips of smooth muscle. Outer side there is skin with hair follicles, and inner side there is tarsal plate with tarsal glands, ducts. Okay, so this is the structure of eyelid. Next comes the cornea. So this is basically a hand drawn picture of the cornea. You will draw in your sketchbooks or the practical copies like this. So I just explained you. After that I will show you how to draw. So superficial most part, you can see that there is apical portion with microvilli. I have drawn a relatively darker line just to show that there are microvilli. These microvilli, they are present ultrastructurally, but on light microscopy we just see a dark line. So then next comes the corneal epithelium. This corneal epithelium is mutual. The next corneal epithelium, this is stratified squamous non-catenized epithelium. You can see that there is basal layer of columnar cells, then 3 to 4 layers of polygonal cells, and the most superficial layer is squamous cells. And there are 5 to 7 layers resting on the Bowman's membrane. So this is the epithelium first layer, then this comes the Bowman's membrane, that is a transparent acellular membrane. You will draw it like this, transparent membrane. After that, this 90% is substantia propria. Substantia propria, you can see and appreciate the straight lines. Basically, these straight lines are intersection points of collagen type 1 fibers that run orthogonally. So orthogonal arrangement is ultrastructural. You cannot appreciate it on light microscopy. You will just see these parallel lines of collagen fibers, type 1 fibers, and in between you can see flattened nuclei that are scattered between the bundles. So these flattened nuclei are the nuclei of keratocytes or fibroblasts, and their fine protoplasmic processes are intermingled with the collagen fibers, and they are not visible here. Next comes these all structures, keratocytes and collagen fibers, they are embedded in the ground substance, that is the pink background here. And next, fourth layer is this one, Descemet's membrane. Again, it is 10 micrometer thick, and it is a basement membrane of endothelium, and innermost layer you will draw this large squamous cells. Actually, on light microscopy, they appear large squamous. When you study, you will see that they are basically simple cuboidal cells, and they have sodium pumps, and this layer is responsible for maintenance of hydration, an optimum hydration level of the stroma. So in your sketchbooks, you will draw cornea like this. And in the next coming slide, I will show you how to draw cornea. Going to draw cornea. Cornea is basically 5 layers. The most superficial layer is corneal epithelium, that is stratified squamous non-keratinized. Now you will draw like this. The basal layer of cell is a layer of columnar cells, then 2 to 3 layers of polygonal cells. You will draw these polygonal cells in between these columnar cells like this. The most superficial layer is a layer of squamous cells. While drawing these squamous cells, take care that the most superficial part draw it relatively darker to show the presence of microvilli. Here, these microvilli are not visible on light microscope, but they just give a dark line. Basal layer of cells are elongated. Polygonal cells have centrally located rounded nuclei. And squamous cells have flattened central nuclei. So this is the first layer. Second layer is the Bowman's membrane. This is a tough, thick, homogeneous membrane, almost 10 micrometer in diameter, and it is made up of interwoven collagen fibrils. This is the second layer. It is acellular. Now the third layer is the most important, and that is it makes almost 90% of the cornea. That is substantia propria. This substantia propria is made up of collagen fibers type 1. You will draw like this. Basically, these straight lines are intersection points of orthogonally running collagen type 1 fibers. So what is orthogonal arrangement? The fibers of two layers, they run at right angle to each other, and their intersection points appear like straight lines in light microscopy. These fibers are embedded in the ground substance, and interspersed between these collagen fibers are nuclei of fibroblast-like cells that are given the name of keratocytes here. So I'm going to draw nuclei of keratocytes. These are flattened nuclei interspersed between collagen fibers. Substantia propria gives toughness to the cornea. So next to it is the fourth layer, that is Descemet's membrane. Again, it is acellular homogeneous membrane, almost 10 micrometer in diameter, and actually this is the basement membrane of the innermost corneal endothelium. Now fifth layer is innermost layer of low cuboidal corneal epithelial cells, but these epithelial cells appear as large squamous cells on light microscopy. They have ionic channels. So this is the way that you will draw the cornea. First layer is stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Second is Bowman's membrane. Third, substantia propria, and fourth layer is Descemet's membrane and innermost corneal endothelium. Thank you. Now you can ask questions. Please unmute and ask questions. Anybody, any questions?
मैम अभी तक हमने ना ये सुना था कि जिनसे हमारे पास माइक्रोविलाइज वगैरह होते हैं
जी,
ये सिर्फ क्यूबॉइडल वो उस पे होते हैं, कोलमनर पे होते हैं,
बिल्कुल
स्क्वेमस पे नहीं हो सकते।
जी। तो ये यहाँ पे
तो
कुछ
यहाँ
जी बिल्कुल। ये यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसे है, जैसे आई टोल्ड यू दैट देयर आर स्पेशल मॉडिफिकेशंस, तो बॉडी में कुछ ऐसी जगह होती है जहाँ पे थोड़ा अनयूजुअल होता है। ये दीज आर द स्केमस सेल्स, बस इनके ऊपर लाइट, इनकी हाइट इतनी नहीं होती जितनी नॉर्मल माइक्रोविलाई की होती है, जैसे इंटेस्टाइन्स वगैरह में होते हैं, लेकिन दे हैव शॉर्ट माइक्रोविलाई फॉर एब्जॉर्प्शन, जहाँ पे टीयर को एब्जॉर्ब करना होता है अकॉर्डिंग टू फंक्शन नेचर इज प्रोवाइडेड। तो देयर आर फ्यू एक्सेप्शंस, तो दिस इज वन ऑफ दीज एक्सेप्शंस के कुछ जगहों पे आपको यहाँ पे स्केमस सेल्स हैं बट उनके शॉर्ट माइक्रोविलाई फॉर एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ टीयर, ताकि थिक फिल्म ना हो, a very thin film is maintained for reflection of light। जी और कोई क्वेश्चन? एनीबॉडी?
मैम जो ऑर्थोगोनल अरेंजमेंट का बता रहे हैं जरा, समझ नहीं आई।
जी मैं बताती हूँ आपको। इसमें आपको इसलिए समझ नहीं आई कि जो मैंने ड्रॉ किया है, आई वाज ड्राइंग पैरेलल लाइंस, ठीक है। तो बताने में मैंने आपको ये बताया है कि ऑर्थोगोनल अरेंजमेंट कोलेजन फाइबर्स आर, एक्चुअली क्या है कि जब आप लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पे देखते हैं, जैसे आप अपने लैब में देखेंगे, तो आपको इसी तरह से पैरेलल रनिंग स्ट्रेट लाइंस नजर आती हैं कोलेजन बंडल्स की, जैसे अभी आपने इमेज भी देखा है अभी, तो वो तो स्ट्रेट नजर आ रहे हैं वो। दिस इज नॉट ऑर्थोगोनल अरेंजमेंट। ऑर्थोगोनल में क्या होता है कि वो आप जब इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप पे देखते हैं अल्ट्रा स्ट्रक्चरली, तो वहाँ पे वो आपको नजर आती है। जस्ट टेल यू, उसमें क्या होता है कि कोलेजन फाइबर्स टाइप 1 जो स्ट्रोमा में होती है, ये मैंने आपको बताया कि देयर आर 60 लेयर्स इन स्ट्रोमा, 50 टू 60 लेयर्स। उसमें क्या होता है कि एक लेयर, जो सारी लेयर्स होती हैं वो दे आर नॉट पैरेलल। एक लेयर में अगर एक एक डायरेक्शन में है तो दूसरी लेयर में उसके राइट एंगल होंगे, टेंजेंशियल होंगे। तो ये जो अरेंजमेंट होती है पैरेलल लेयर्स, एडजेसेंट लेयर्स में एट राइट एंगल अरेंजमेंट, इसको ऑर्थोगोनल अरेंजमेंट कहते हैं। इसकी वजह से ओवरऑल जो है ना वो कॉर्निया में ट्रांसपेरेंसी आती है। तो वी जस्ट टेल यू दिस अल्ट्रा स्ट्रक्चर फीचर, लेकिन जब एक्चुअल में मैं ड्रॉ कर रही थी तो मैं पैरेलल ड्रॉ कर रही थी, तो इसलिए आपको थोड़ी सी शायद उसमें होगा। तो ये जो पैरेलल लाइंस हैं ये क्या, व्हाट आर एक्चुअली दे, ये जो ऑर्थोगोनल रनिंग फाइबर्स होते हैं, ये जिन पॉइंट्स पे इंटरसेक्ट करते हैं, तो वो पैरेलल लाइंस ऐसे नजर आती हैं जो कि लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पे हमें विजिबल होती हैं। तो एक्चुअल ऑर्थोगोनल अरेंजमेंट, right angle running collagen fibers in adjacent layers, or their intersection points are visible as parallel lines। Any questions? अच्छा, अब आप लोगों ने ये करना है कि ये दिस वाज द फर्स्ट लेक्चर, इसमें ओवरऑल जो मकसद इस पूरी का है कि आपको कॉर्निया की स्लाइड जो है वो आइडेंटिफाई करनी आ जाए और आईलेट की आइडेंटिफाई करनी आ जाए। यू हैव टू मेमोराइज आइडेंटिफिकेशन पॉइंट्स, एंड जो आपने अपनी नोटबुक में ड्रॉ करना है वो स्लाइड करनी है आपने कॉर्निया की और आईलेट की ड्रॉ करनी है। ये जिस तरह से पेपर ड्रॉइंग है इस तरह कॉर्निया की स्लाइड आपने ड्रॉ करनी है और आइडेंटिफिकेशन पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं। इसी तरह से नेक्स्ट क्लास इंशाल्लाह हमारी रेटिना पे और उस पे लेंस पे होगी, उसमें भी इसी तरह से हैंड ड्रॉन जो है वो स्केच होगा। आई विल आल्सो टेल यू हाउ टू ड्रॉ। अब इसके अलावा मैं आपको ग्रुप में जो है कुछ डायग्राम जो है वो शेयर करूंगी, जैसे आईलेट का है वो भी आपने अपनी नोटबुक में ड्रॉ करनी है। तो इस तरह से आप अपनी साथ साथ नोटबुक तैयार करते रहें। इंशाल्लाह आई विल मीट यू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास that would be on the retina structure or histological structure of retina and lens। Hope to see you next week। Thank you।
थैंक यू मैम, अल्लाह हाफिज।
Allah Hafiz।